All right, it's your boy ZTR, and I know it's every year now. I gotta prove to people how stupid. I gotta prove to my subscribers and my listeners how dumb people really are. This is where we at now. We at a generation that's completely stupid. Like I clear, man. IQ levels are going complete low. Once again, we got somebody that's clearly, man, like either this is somebody who watches way too much TV in their house. They don't got nothing else better to do but stay at home watching TV all day. This is like somebody who never went to a game. They don't go outside that much at all. You never been to an actual game. Okay, you never been to an actual stadium. And you, your family, or your friends have paid in between $300 to $500 to maybe $1,000 to pay for some of these seats and been to a stadium that looks like this. I have. Me and my family in the last 15 years have been to multiple games. We've been to at least 10 of them. In between baseball, football, and hockey, and basketball, we would have been to at least 10 games. Not to forget to mention, I'm somebody who actually played it myself. But every year now on YouTube, you get these people that's doing anything for attention. This guy is clearly capping for views so he can get paid off YouTube. He's trying to make YouTube money. That's the best way I could come up with this. Because the people that say the NFL scripted, that means absolutely nothing. Because to the actual athletes themselves that got to go out there and play, they're under contract. They know if they don't perform their best and they don't give it their all, they're going to get cut. You got owners that's trying to win and managers that's trying their hardest to win. They know that they don't believe in no scripted league. They don't. Again, this is not Vince McMahon's WWE. And I can show you right at the top that WWE is not even real wrestling compared to an actual wrestling where you have two men, two people in tank tops. Okay, they wearing an outfit, a wrestling outfit with earmuffs on, trying to take each other down for points. Go look at the Olympics and then look at WWE. It's not the same thing. But I'm finna show you just how stupid this guy is, man. This person clearly is dumb as hell. Alright? Once again, on my channel, I proved a lot of these people that say the NFL is scripted and rigged don't actually watch sports. They don't play it. They don't know no history. They don't even understand it. Because this is James Brown, okay? This guy has been an NFL analyst since the 1990s. Or even longer than that. That man been doing this for over 25 years. Okay? He's good at what he does. This guy's gonna take a clip of them actually rehearsing. Okay? Each wing analyst, like what was it, like Howie Long and Michael Strahan, they've actually spent the night before going over reports. They type stuff on paper and they're gonna present that when the cameras go on. Okay, it's called rehearsal. This is right before the game ain't even started yet. But just look at this is how dumb this person is, how much time he's wasting.
Like I can hear you, Phil. Yeah. When you throw it to me, how you going to throw it to me about the Miami Dolphins? Won't you say they got a tough schedule? Can you say that or something? But yeah. Phil, do you have any faith in them? All right. I'll try to remember that. Yeah, like do I have any faith? I'm worried about the Miami Dolphins with all. You know, they got a rookie quarterback going against Belichick today. This is not going to be easy today and moving forward. How's that? Yeah, okay. But I'll just turn it around then. That's good. Yeah. Okay.
This proves absolutely nothing. Okay, because everybody got their own opinion. They gotta rehearse. They gotta go over what they about to say. Okay? That's what you gotta understand. This how they feel ain't got nothing to do with the game itself. Because I'm finna prove to you that the NFL is really not scripted. It's just people don't understand the game. They've never. If you're somebody who's never actually played sports before, you never played football before, you don't understand how the game is ran, you don't understand play calling, you don't understand that there's a playbook these coaches got to read from, and you don't understand that there's a formation these players got to, the deepest got to use a formation to go against the offense. And I'm not talking about no other sport. I'm not going to talk about baseball, basketball, just football in general because I played it. How these people feel their opinions got nothing to do with this game on the right. Nothing. The actual Baltimore Ravens probably not even paying attention to it. They're not even watching it.
Try to be positive about them. Yeah, I know you are. Okay, good. Okay, I got to get off there for a second. Man, there's a lot of moving parts, huh? God.
Now, he somehow went over. I don't know how he got this rehearsal. This is somebody that clearly is taking somebody's rehearsal and trying to screw it around. Because that game ain't even started yet. This is when they're just like going over rehearsals. I don't know how he got this clip. But, bro, you reaching too hard. I'm just being very honest.
When we first started in the business, And she said now she knows why we didn't continue with it. So, yeah, Bob said you did an awesome job. Yep. James Lofton. You know, I love listening to the rehearsals. Hey.
A rehearsal just what it is, rehearsals. Because when you doing analysts, you do a sports commentary, you got to choose a side. You got to choose a team you think is going to win, you got to stick to it. They ain't got nothing to do with the actual players. They got nothing to do with the actual referees that got to do their job. Because I don't know how y'all notice this, but over the last 10 years, there's been over like 20-something referees have gotten fired in the past. Because they done bad play calling. Okay? I'm just going to tell you that right now. If it's a referee that messed up on the call, Roger Dale and they got people who actually look at these games and review it. All right? These teams and players complain over play calling all the time. So they got to do their job correctly or else they're going to lose their job. And some of these men can't afford to be losing their jobs, so they got a big old house. They got kids and family they got to take care of. They got to pay their bills. Again, man, you wasting too much freaking time. This means absolutely, like you said, it's a rehearsal. That doesn't mean nothing. Because I guarantee you, Micah Strahan, Howie Long, and Terry Bradshaw, they done typed over what they're gonna say. They actually looked at each team, they analyzed the game, they broke it down, and they got a paper what they already reported and what they already got written down, and what they're gonna present. Again, that's just a rehearsal. They're not, when the show actually goes on, they're gonna be talking completely different.
You know it's all about having so much fun, yeah. Well, let me tell you, as I was doing the lead-in last night, I'm saying, wait a minute, I hope James understands that I will self-correct. I can't just call.
So as y'all heard, they were scripting out what they were going to say.
No, brother, that's not a script. They was rehearsing. There is no script for that. Okay? You're not reading them on the monitor screen. If you do sports commentary, you got to know what you're talking about. That's why the only ones who mostly get hired to do these jobs are ex-talent. That means retired veterans. Howie Long, Terry Bradshaw, Michael Strahan, they're ex-talent football players. They're football players who played in the league years before they took the job. And Michael Strahan and Terry Bradshaw, those are Super Bowl champions, brother. That wasn't a script, that's a rehearsal. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, because I can guarantee you money. You probably never even went in there. See, for the ones that's on YouTube saying the league is scripted, right? You talk all this about these sports. How many of y'all actually went into the broadcast? You went up to Fox Sports. You went to CBS. You went up to NBC and actually watched these people actually rehearse and talk about it. Matter of fact, while you sitting here talking, okay? No, that was not a script. That was rehearsal. It's not the same thing.
On the CBS pregame show, and you obviously can't have a real opinion to a scripted sport.
Yes, you can. That's why they have First Take and they have Undisputed, because those are opinions, sir. And every time they vote for a team that's going to win on NFL Sunday, those are opinions. Those opinions actually mean nothing because the players got to actually perform. Like right here, the main reason why the Panthers lost because the Denver's defense shut out Cam Newton. For one, his best receiver was out, which is Kelvin Benjamin. Two, Ted Ginn Jr. can't catch. Jericho Crutchley, those guys was not as strong. Kelvin Benjamin was the only strong receiver he had. There was no Christian McCaffrey when that game happened. Okay? Plus, Cam Newton didn't even dive on the ball when the fumble happened. That means absolutely nothing. I don't know why he's showing this. Come on now, dude. All you doing is for attention and views. It's sad because you take away from these guys here. And Cam Newton recently got cut. He got cut because he's not that good. Bill Belichick cut him. That was not in no free. There was no script for that at all. Cam just ain't that good at all. Cam time just pretty much got phased out. There are defenses that figure out how to stop Cam Newton. Like you see here. And ever since that Super Bowl, the Panthers have done nothing since then because they're not that good of a football team. Most of their championship core left. Cortland Finnegan had retired already. I think Josh Norman went to the Redskins. I think just that following season, he went to another team. He didn't stay there. Okay? The Panthers don't have the same team no more. That's why they're not doing as good as they are. They're not doing that good today. Even then, Cam can't find a job no more because teams have their coaching staff and GMs have moved on from him. They rather go with another quarterback like Justin Fields, who they drafted. Okay? Again, people like this YouTuber here does not understand sports. He don't actually go out to the games at all. He's somebody who probably never played Because those who actually really played the game, they understand what these players have to go through. Okay? But then let's just continue to listen to the ignorance.
And they all know that the games are scripted, so they have to script out who's gonna say what narrative. They're pretty much just saying.
All right, let me explain a narrative. A narrative is just what is a narrative. It don't mean nothing. Okay? Matter of fact, let me show you an example of that. Let's look at the 2007 Patriots. Now, this is one of Tom Brady's best season, only to fail. Right? I want you to look at this. Is the year they went 16-0, but when they got to the Super Bowl, they lost. But look, all right. So preseason, right? These are 2 losses. If the game was really scripted, these would be wins. They would have beaten the Buccaneers. They would have beaten the Buccaneers. They would have beaten the Titans. But because those are preseason games, you're not playing your starters in those games. These preseason, this is to basically this is pretty much to figure out who's the when these preseason games happen, these players are trying to make the 50-man roster. You got 50 people that you got to play. There's only going to be 40 active, 10 on reserve. They got to make the 50-man or the 53-man roster, however roster limit you have. So in these preseason games, now guys like veterans like Tom Brady, their roster's secure, but you got other players like the rookies that's trying to they get a starting spot. This is the side who's going to make the final cut. Look, you played the Giants in preseason. All right, this is the first time they played the Giants. All right, August 30th. Okay, they beat the Giants, and that game was close. Okay, that's the first time they played them, right? So again, they beat the Panthers, but they lost to the Titans and Buccaneers. And this was a Buccaneers team. This is I think they had Jeff Garcia in. Yeah, there was no I think John Gruden was still coaching. Yeah, John Gruden was still coaching around this time. I think this was the second to last year John Gruden was coaching for the Buccaneers. Right? Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson had already long left, but yeah, this was the last of Gruden's Buccaneers. Now we go to the regular season. Look at all these wins. All right, now the Jets was trash. Chargers was good. Look at this. Now this was the Chargers back then was not going to be an easy team to beat, folks. Okay? Do nobody think that the Patriots going to beat the Chargers? I guarantee you could go back to that week. They had the Chargers beating the Patriots. This is a Charger team that had Phillip Rivers when he was in his prime. You had LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the best running backs of that time. Okay? Vincent Jackson. You had Antonio Gates, young Antonio Gates. Then you had Quentin Jerome on defense, Antonio Cromartie. Okay? This dude that's doing this YouTuber here, he doesn't know his history at all. He don't watch the game. This game, the NFL Sunday, they had the Chargers beating the Patriots. I do remember that vividly because this was my senior year, okay, in high school. Buffalo Bills, of course you're going to beat the Bills. They were trash. Bengals was actually pretty good. You had Carson Palmer. You had Chad Ochocinco. You had Cedric Benson. Okay? That was not an easy team either. Browns was trash. This is way before Baker Mayfield came around. There was no Myles Garrett back then. There was no Baker Mayfield. They weren't even drafted in. They were little kids when this was happening. Cowboys. Again, New England was actually pretty good. No, Dallas wasn't always trash. Tony Romo actually had a great year. It's just they was never going to beat the Patriots. Okay, you talking about, you had Marion Barber, you had Terry Glenn, Tony Romo. You also had DeMarcus Ware. Yeah, you had DeMarcus Lawrence. Yeah, you had DeMarcus Lawrence. You had what was that safety? They had a great safety. I can't remember his name right now. I'm drawing a blank. I think this is after Pac-Man Jones left. But the Cowboys had a good team. Yeah, you had Terrell Owens. Yeah, Terrell Owens, Terry Glenn. You had Patrick Creighton, Marion Barber. Yeah, that team was that. Yeah, Marion Barber. That team was stacked. Yeah, DeMarcus Ware. That's right. Yeah, DeMarcus Ware was on that team. Okay, they had a great team. This was Jason Witten was there. Keith Brooken also played for the Cowboys around that time. That's veteran Keith Brooken from the Falcons. He was a Pro Bowler. The Cowboys were stacked. It's just they couldn't beat the Patriots. Dolphins trash. I think this one the Dolphins was like 0-16. Okay, that team had a winless. 2008, the Dolphins was winless. Okay? The man on that YouTube video ain't gonna tell you that because he don't pay attention. Alright, he's somebody who don't watch the game. Redskins was not that good at all. Redskins was like kind of like done. They were not the same team anymore. I think Sean Taylor might have been still around. Yeah, I think this was before Sean Taylor passed, but they still was that good. I think they had Jason Campbell at quarterback. He was horrible. I think Santonio Moss was like the only good receiver they had, and they had Clinton Portis, but that was it. The Colts. Look at that, 24-20. This was when the Colts, Peyton Manning was still in Indianapolis. Y'all. EMS had at Peyton Manning, Joseph Adai. You had Anthony. You had Anthony Gonzalez. You had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Bob Sanders. Then you had Dwight Freeney. Okay, that was a very stacked Indianapolis Colts team. Anybody that's played Madden know how good the Colts was. My brother Patrick, that was his team. He loved the Colts. The Colts was winning games. They was beating teams. Remember, in the same decade, the Colts beat out the Patriots to go to a Super Bowl. Back when they played the Bears in 2006. How many of y'all actually knew that already? That you had Tony Dungy and Lovie Smith were two of the black head coaches that ever faced off against each other in the Super Bowl. And Peyton Manning was Super Bowl MVP. They beat the Patriots back in like the season. Matter of fact, the season before, like 2006, the year before, they beat out the Patriots in the playoffs. They beat up in I think it was the AFC Championship game. It might have been either the second round or the AFC Championship game to go to a Super Bowl. How many of y'all people actually know that? Tell me. Rigged NFL breakdowns. Did you actually know that already? Did you actually know this team actually lost to the Colts with that same exact team? And that was Tony Dungy. Now I think at this time I think Tony Dungy might have retired already. I think Caldwell took over. Yeah, Jim Caldwell. I think this was the other black coach, Caldwell. They got replaced by another black coach. Everybody complained about these black coaches, but the Patriots had two black the Colts had two. Excuse me, not the Patriots, but the Colts. The Patriots had to play against two black head coaches during that decade. I think Caldwell was the replacement to Tony Dungy. That was another black head coach. So a bunch of people complaining about black head coaches getting NFL jobs. That's complete BS. They had a bye week here, but them again the Bills trash. Now Eagles. Let's explain this. This is the Eagle team that had Donovan McNabb, Brian Westbrook, Brian Dawkins. Okay? That was not an easy Philadelphia Eagles team. The Eagles was actually one of the better NFC East teams. As far as the NFC teams, the Eagles was dominant in the early 2000s. Okay? Now T.O. had left, of course, but they still had some players. They still had a squad. Okay? Again, if you gonna say the NFL scripted rig, you gotta actually know your history. Again, that guy doing this YouTube and YouTubers like him don't know what the hell they talking about. This is why I have a problem with the truth community. Look at the Ravens. Now the Ravens, again, do a very hard football team. Okay? Because that's when you have Steve McNair recipes. You still have Ray Lewis. You had Ed Reed. Okay? You had Willis McGahee. This was before you had Willis McGahee. This is before the other guy came on there. The one who hit that woman in the elevator and got fired. I can't even mention his name no more. Okay, that's before he came around. Okay? Again, they had a stacked up team. It was not going to be easy beating the Ravens at all. And the Patriots pulled off in Baltimore too. At that. Okay? Yeah, come on. That's prime Ray Lewis. Rest in peace to Steve McNair. They had some receivers too. I think they had what was it, Derek Mason over there? Like, come on now. Deion Branch was also a Baltimore Raven around that time. Like, come on now, y'all sound stupid. Y'all sound retarded, man. Y'all sound dumb as hell. Saying it's rigged and scripted. Like, come on now, make it. If it's been proven sports is rigged, but scripted is two different things. You can't say it's rigged and scripted. It don't work like that. That's just retarded. Then look at the Steelers. Come on now, Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger. Come on now, you had Willie Parker. Right? Santonio Holmes. And then you had James Harrison. Troy Polamalu. You had William Gay. Right? You had Ryan Clark playing over there. Ike Taylor. Come on now. All those Steelers had like 8-9 Pro Bowlers on that team, dude. And then you had Rashard Mendenhall as a backup. This is before Antonio Brown came, by the fact. Before they drafted Emmanuel Sanders and Antonio Brown, you had Santonio Holmes. Because the season after they played the Steelers went to the Super Bowl and beat the Cardinals. Alright? Yeah, how many of y'all knew that the Arizona Cardinals was in the Super Bowl? Yes, they're doing good now, right? Because the Cardinals are a stacked up team. Kyler Murray is improved. They're 6-0 now, but back in 2008, 2009, the Cardinals was actually a good. It was one of the better NFC teams, and this was Kurt Warner as an old man. Kurt Warner was in his late 30s. Kurt Warner was around in between 35 and 37 years old. Yet they beat the Steelers team. This is Big Ben in his prime, young Ben Roethlisberger. And then Ben Roethlisberger's first Super Bowl win was against the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, the Legion of Boom with Richard Sherman, and you had Michael Bennett, right? Bobby Wagner, Cam Chancellor. That was the only time they went to a Super Bowl. Yeah, Beast Mode and Russell Wilson. That was the only time they went to a Super Bowl. They went to a Super Bowl when they had Sean Alexander and Matt Hasselbeck. Matt Strong. Okay? Again, you people who do these YouTube videos, you don't know your history. You don't understand it. Again, Jets with Chad Pillington was trash. Dolphins was trash. But look at the Giants. Now, this is the second time you're playing them. 38-35. Because Randy Moss, now that was a game Randy Moss got off that game. But again, second time you playing the Giants, right? Now you beat them in the regular season. That was December 29th, right before playoff time. Now playoff time, look at January 12th, right? They beat the Jaguars. Look at the divisional game. Yeah, y'all, once upon a time, the Jaguars was not trash at all. Now this is a Jaguars that had Brian Leftwich, Mercedes Lewis. And then you have Maurice Jones-Drew. Okay? He came from Mater Dei High School out here in California. That Mater Dei High School defeated Poly. Okay? That's where he came from. Again, the Jacksonville Jaguars was a very competitive team back in those days. Alright? And I think you also had Mark Brunell, veteran Mark Brunell as a backup. But again, that was a very good team. And before then, you had Fred Taylor. Dude, like, come on now. And then look at it once again, the Chargers, right? How did the Chargers make the playoffs? Again, stacked. They just could never beat the Patriots. Let the record show Philip Rivers has never beaten Tom Brady in a playoff series at all. Philip Rivers is like 0-for-4 against Tom Brady. Now look at that final, right? 17-14. Look how close that game was. That was a defensive game. The Giants were able to beat the Patriots because they played them twice in the entire season. Okay? So it's hard to beat a team it's hard to beat a team 3 times. You may beat them twice, but you got to play them a third time in one season, you're going to lose. The reason why the Giants were able to beat the Patriots because they had an idea how to play New England. Okay? Remember, they played them 3 times. 3 times. Now you already got an idea how to stop a team by the 3rd time. They had plenty of game film on them. They knew all Tom Brady's target was. They knew if Randy Moss was open, you're going to try to give the ball to Wes Welker. Okay? They already knew about the defense already. They already knew about Junior Seau that was playing for him. Rest in peace. They knew about Teddy Bruschi. Okay? They knew about Vince Wilfork. Alright? The head coach for the Tennessee Titans. He was also on that Patriots team back in the day. Mike Vrabel. They already knew about Rodney Harrison. They had scouting reports on those people. Okay? That's what this is what the YouTuber right here is not going to tell you. They're going to tell you that the scouting reports. They don't need to script no damn game. If I'm an owner and I'm paying somebody like $23 million, a significant contract to win games, why do I need you to script it for when I can trust the player I just paid $23 million that he can do it for me? It's retarded, man. It's dumb as hell. Look at this. Right, Prescott. This was just last night. The Cowboys have never beat the Patriots at all. Let the record show too. Since Tom Brady was playing for Foxborough, the Cowboys never was able to beat the Patriots for like over 10 years. This has happened. The Patriots have had a hard time beating New England for decades. For at least 2 decades, they had a hard time beating them in the regular season. Okay? Prescott would never been able to do this had Tom Brady been playing for New England. Alright? Now, let's look what else he has to say.
What the fans want to hear, they're going to attract.
Actually, it's not what the fans want to hear because the analysts may say something the fans don't want to hear. Okay? For example, right? During the Super Bowl, there was a majority of fans that was going for Kansas City because didn't everybody like Tom Brady? And Tom Brady still won. Why? Because he's the GOAT. Okay? They don't always do what the fans want to hear neither. There's 2 different teams. There's 2 sides to the coin. Either you're going to be for Team A or you're going to be for Team B, brother.
All audiences, one person is going to talk about one team, another person is going to talk about another team, and it's going to get the fans hyped. emotionally invested.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with somebody like Cam Newton that has to go and actually win the game? See, the refs could do whatever they want to do, but if that team the refs are trying to read the game for sucks, that the team that sucks is going to lose. Okay, they're going to lose. For example, everybody still complain about the Rams beating the Saints and that no pass interference call, but had it Jared Goff get within field goal position to win the game, the Saints was getting away with many calls that game and they still lost. How did the Saints lose to Kirk Cousins and Chase Keenum, who are both mediocre? Keenum and Cousins are not that good at all. They're not. They got lucky against the Saints because the Saints got no defense. And it's been proven already. The Saints needed Bounty Gate to win those games. That means they injure guys on purpose. They headshot them. Thus, why you have there's the helmet-to-helmet rule. If a player does a helmet-to-helmet headshot on another defenseless receiver, they're going to get suspended. They're going to be out the game indefinitely. All right? It's because of the Saints now you got these rules. Okay? Now, rigged NFL breakdown is always a young man. You're probably in your early 20s. You're probably a teenager, so you don't understand what's going on. But come on now, I'm somebody who actually played this game on 4 different levels. Pop Warner, high school, college, and semi-professionally. I know everything these players got to go through when they have to practice.
You know everything that goes with that. So I don't think there's too much more to say here. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's self-explanatory that you don't know what you're talking about. You're somebody that watches TV all day long. You don't go outside. You don't even know how to play the game. I bet me and you was to go on a one-on-one with gear on, I'll eat you up. You wouldn't be able to catch me. You're somebody that don't even know what it's like to even get hurt. And yet you talking. Look at Von Miller. Von Miller was Super Bowl MVP. This man is like a 8-time Pro Bowler. 8 to 9-time Pro Bowler, man. Come on now. That defense was stacked up. You had DeMarcus Ward over there. DeMarcus Ward left the Cowboys and signed with the Broncos. They were stacked. Okay, and then you had Akeem Talib, who was an ex-Patriot that was playing for them at safety. Come on now. Oh, he was the other corner, but again, you had TJ Ward at safety. They was deep. They were stacked up, man. Come on now. And then you had Brandon Marshall. You had tight end Brandon Marshall. You had Emmanuel Sanders at receiver. You had DeMarcus Thomas. And then you had CJ Anderson at running back. That was a beast. Come on now. They was not gonna beat this Broncos team. This guy didn't have the help. Like, this is sad, man. It's too much time wasting. All he's doing is spewing up a bunch of lies, a bunch of nonsense.
Explanatory what went on in this video, and it's just a terrible look for the NFL.
No, it's a terrible look for you because you never actually went to an actual broadcast. You're somebody that's too lazy to go to an actual NBC and try to at least get a job and try to see what's going on from the inside out. You're somebody that's not actually there. You're going by your own interpretation. That's not actually what's going on. I guarantee you, James Brown is just a reporter. But Terry Bradshaw, Michael Strahan, Howie Long, and even Jimmy Johnson, they had their own report that they did the night before or the day before that they typed up. These analysts spent all night typing up their reports and what they're going to say on TV the next day. Okay? That's coming from their own words. There was no script for that. Again, this is not WWE. This is not TNA. This is not AEW. Okay? Y'all don't understand what the hell y'all talking about. If anything, you making it look bad on them. You making them look weak. Yeah, Von Miller was right in front of this young man. He wouldn't be saying none of this. This dude will keep his mouth shut out of fear. That Von Miller will chin check you for that. Matter of fact, Von Miller will laugh at this young man. I'm serious. This dude has never actually seen somebody actually play before.
But of course, NFL fans won't care at all. They'll continue to watch.
Because they actually seen these players like they practice. They actually watch their kids play it. Some of them have actually played the sport themselves, so they know the practice that these players got to do to prepare. They know how hard it is. You practice how you play. These men are running 4.3s, 4.4s, full speed. That's very fast. You got linemen running like track stars. Come on now. 245 pounds, 230, 250 pounds. There's nobody under 160 that's in the league now. Nobody. Everybody's like 180 and up. Even the kicker got a hard job to do because you got to make them field goals. If you don't, you're going to get fired. And there's too many kickers we've seen that can't kick. That's why a lot of teams are not winning games. Like, for example, against the Buccaneers, this game 1. My Cowboys lost because our field goal kicker missed 2 quality, crucial field goals that could have won us a game, that could have kept us up in the game. That we scored that 1 touchdown. they would have been able to beat us by 3 points. Again, you got to understand the actual game itself. You got to go to an actual game and watch it live. This young man here has been to neither.
Watch their scripted sports that they put so much emotion into.
Okay, if it's scripted sports, then how come none of you are playing it? I bet if I go on this guy's channel, he don't got a single video of him actually in a football game playing himself that want to say is a scripted.
And as y'all are seeing on the screen right now, these are just a couple throwback scripted moments that I've yet to.
No, that's Joe Flacco. There ain't no scripted moment. It takes skill. There's a such thing called skill. Okay, every player's not on the same skill set. There are some players that are just better than others, and there's other players that can handle the pressure better than the other football teams.
Put on my channel. There's countless scripted moments.
Look at that. Now that was skill to make that perfect throw. Joe Flacco was able to throw past 50 yards. That's skill. Because I believe this is receiver Jacoby Jones, if I'm not mistaken.
Really have hundreds.
Yeah, that's Jacoby. Jacoby got wheels, brother. It takes skill to know how to have footwork and technique. Let's look back at this again, because this dude don't understand skill at all. Again, he's somebody who does not play at all, dude. This is how dumb you are. This is how retarded you look. I'm dead serious, man. This YouTuber can't do this at all. You can't throw past 50 yards, can you? Look at that.
Put on my.
Joe Flacco has arm strength, and technically he's still today a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. Even though Joe Flacco never won a Super Bowl, never won an MVP award, he still was able to get to the Super Bowl because Joe Flacco knew how to throw. That was Flacco when he was younger. Okay? Look at it. Everybody's not going to have the same speed. This DB here is not Deion Sanders. Okay, this is not Rod Woodson back here.
My channel. There's countless scripted.
Again, he just wasn't fast enough. He didn't get to that side fast enough. He got burnt. Okay? That was fair game. It takes skill to throw that far. Okay? Again, I want y'all, let's look at this again. Let's look how stupid this dude is, man. Now, anybody with the right kind of arm, with the right kind of speed can make that throw. Joe Flacco threw it to where he needed to be. He ran a streak. That was a streak route. Every receiver has a different route they got to throw. They don't all throw the same routes. Let's look at this again. Because you talking, you don't even know the formations. You don't know how the players line up. Let's look at this. This is obvious, right? This is a 4-3 defense. And if you're going to see these two receivers run, they're not going to all run the same way. Okay? But to throw a football, it takes skill. You have to have the arm strength. Everybody cannot throw a football. I'm sorry, that's not life. I'm talking about somebody that's in reality. Now let's look at this. And I want you to see from game film, right? Let's look at these routes. Now he's running, right? This was like either this was a Hail Mary, but what you gonna see somebody, they all go the same route. And they can't go all the same route because the defense is gonna read it.
Go back scripted moments.
Now look at this. He almost got hit. The defensive line was trying to get to them. They was doing their job. Because the offensive linemen are not going to always hold up at all. Again, you're in a game like this, the fourth quarter, they're tired. You got to play 60 minutes of football, sir. Now, if you actually played the game, you understand how hard that is to try to win a game. Especially when you got coaches, you got other players yelling in your ear if you mess up. Now look, he almost got hit.
That I've yet.
Because he has speed, he's able to maneuver out of here. He's able to get out the tackle. He was able to escape this. Right? Look, the offensive line did their job. If I'm not mistaken, this is Von Miller right here. That was Von Miller. Von Miller was right to where he's supposed to be. It just Joe Flacco got that ball off fast.
Put on my channel.
Now look, one guy stopped. I told you, they're not all running the same routes because he did a stop route. He did a post pattern. This was a post. Jacoby Jones was told to do a streak. That means they was going to the house. Cause look, you only got 36 more seconds left. You got to score now. The Broncos are up. You got no more time up. It's 3rd and 3. Again, he was told to go straight because Jacoby Jones runs a 4-4. He's that fast, sir. The problem is the safety and the DB just got burnt on this play. He got burnt. The safety didn't read it properly. That was bad reading by the defense.
There's countless scripted moments.
4-3 defense. That was not scripted at all. That was skill. You got to have skill to run. You got to have speed. So there's a reason why people get cut. If the league was really that scripted, that means Tim Tebow will be a starting tight end of the Jacksonville Jaguars to this day. Yes, Tim Tebow recently came back because Urban Meyer wanted him back. And Urban Meyer tried to give Tim Tebow a chance to play football again. Tim Tebow got cut because he just don't have the skill no more. He's not better than these 22, 23-year-olds the Jaguars currently have. Not everybody makes the 53-man roster. People get cut, and this is why. This safety here got burnt on the outside. Bad read. Bad timing. Jacoby Jones got to the ball. Jacoby went where Joe Flacco put the ball. And there's sometimes the ball is actually incomplete pass because it's overthrown. There's a such thing as overthrowing the football. That's too far the receiver to catch it, sir.
It's like I literally have hundreds and hundreds of video ideas.
Yeah, you got hundreds of video ideas that you don't understand what you talk about. You try to create your own narrative because you can't do these things at all. Because if there was really the case, this man on YouTube would have been in the NFL by now. He would have been in one of these teams making money. Okay? If it was really that easy. If it was really that easy, y'all, there'll be people that'll be skinny. Matter of fact, if the league was really that scripted, Antoinette Harris, the woman who announced that she wanted to go to the NFL, would have already been on the team by now. And she would have been starting if it was really that easy. But the reason why you don't see Antoinette Harris or Tony Harris playing, because she physically cannot do it. If she wants to try to hit somebody like Jacoby Jones, she'll get ran over. She'll get her helmet knocked. The men are heavier than her. That woman weighs only like 150 pounds or 140. She's not strong enough to hit these men. She's not strong enough to tackle somebody like George Kittle or Travis Kelce in the open field. They'll run through her like a fire truck.
Is that, like I'll just never run out of.
Look at it. That's skill. To start running through, again, as long as he didn't pass his blue marker, there's only a certain amount of yards a quarterback can run and get the ball over. That was skill. The offensive line did their job. They held up. Von Miller was able to hit him and tackle him because he's covered by the offensive lineman right here. This is the offensive tackle.
New ideas for this channel because the league is so scripted.
Yeah, and you just wasting your time because you don't understand what you're talking about.
But anyways, man, that about wraps it up.
Now, let me show you actual practice. Now, this is from the NFL Network, right? This is Green Bay getting ready to play the Jets for that week.
I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of the extracurricular.
This was in 2018. Yes, there are football teams that practice in their and they're practicing in the enemy stadium because they had to get ready for this game.
Mike, I think from a Jets perspective, a lot has been made over the course of the pre-draft process about Zach Wilson and how he looked up to Aaron Rodgers in terms of his.
Rick NFL Breakdown says don't watch this stuff at all. He doesn't. Okay? Again, you can't just tell. If you're going to say a script, you better know the game. You better know what you're talking about. He's never been to none of these practices. There are fans who was at that practice as we speak. There are fans who actually showed up to that practice and watched them practice. There are fans who came to see their favorite player practice.
Similar to Rodgers, but covering the Packers since 2006, you've obviously seen Aaron Rodgers his whole career. What is it like? Like, what kind of a practice player are we going to see over the next couple of days?
I mean, he's always going to do at least one or two things in a practice that are just.
These players don't need a script. They actually they rehearse. They're going over how they're going to play. They're going over formations. They're going over techniques. This is a coach. This is one of the coordinators. This is a linebacker coach. He has to tell them how to angle tackle, how to tackle somebody, how to cover somebody. They tell them how to get off the tackle, how to cover a receiver or tight end if they're coming to their side.
It's going to make you go, wow. Even if you've seen it, many times before. Just the other day, we were out here.
Look, that's called a tackling drill. You got to know how to wrap up. And if you tackle incorrectly, you're going to injure your spine.
It was actually closed to the public, but the
yes, injuries are real. They're not fake.